Hey there, in this video we're going to look at adding a new blog post to the website. You can do that in a few places. One, you can click right here, or you can click on blog post, and this will bring up a list of all the blog posts that you guys have on the website. Again, if it's your first time jumping in here, it might be a little overwhelming with the amount of columns. You can click on screen options and deselect what you don't want to see and click apply. And this is going to be a little different than what you guys have done in the past because you're moving from the classic editor to the updated editor for WordPress called Gutenberg. And so it looks a little different. It's much cleaner and allows you to do a little more design on the actual blog post. So the first thing you want to do is add a title, and you can just start typing right away. And you can add another paragraph. And here's where it gets a little more involved, is we want to add a Gutenberg block. Maybe we want to add a heading here. And we can give this a heading. Maybe you want to add really any one of these things, an audio snippet, an image gallery, one image, a button. There's several different things that you can add into this into these posts. You can add a gravity form. So if you have a form that's relevant, maybe one of your guest authors has some information that you guys want to help collect for them, you can create a form for that, drop that form into the blog post, and you're good to go. You can embed a tweet. So many different things you can do in this area. One of the things I like for a post, of course, is a pull quote. So something to grab attention with a good tagline or quote, and then of course the citation there. And you can change the different colors. We have some of your colors already set here for your theme, so you can just simply click on those things and you should be good to go. And then down here we have one custom field, or two custom fields rather, that are important for the layout of your post. The first one is the ability to add a video link. So when you add a link from Vimeo or from YouTube, you can paste it in right here, and it will replace the featured image on the post layout with that video instead. And you can also choose to feature this post. And so featuring a post makes it show up on the archive that it belongs to in the top featured area. If it's one of it shows the latest 5 featured posts. And so if I set this post as notorious passages, and then I visit the notorious passages archive, this post will automatically show up in that top little slider as one of the featured 5 posts for that category. And again, I think we've discussed this a little bit. You want to be focused on what you're actually featuring. Like these are the posts that when I think of the content around notorious passages, people need to be reading. This is one of those posts, and so I'm going to feature it, and I'm going to keep it there until it doesn't need to be there anymore. The last little bit is the SEO area over here. You can give it a better title, a longer title. Otherwise, it will just use the default title up here, which isn't bad. And what I would also focus on is a meta description for your post. I think this is an important thing to write for every post so that Google sees it a certain way. And so does Facebook, Twitter, and everybody else. You can see the snippet over here. Here's my test title. And instead of just using that, by default, of course, it will just use the post title. And by the time you guys get this will probably just be the default that you can, of course, change out. The other thing I would suggest looking at is in the social tab here, adding uploading an image. Oftentimes, that's just going to be the featured image that you set for the post, but maybe you want to have an image that may be made in Canva that you use to capture people's attention. I know for the scheme we're going with for this website now is not having text on the website or on the image itself, but maybe for your social sharing you want to use an image that has the title of the post and you can make that your social image. So when people share it to Facebook, or likewise to Twitter for the Twitter thumbnail, it shares that image instead. Don't worry about these errors. You're probably, by the time you watch this, most of this should already be taken care of. Remember, this is a dev site that I'm making the videos on, so some of those things that are turned off or not working in the dev site will be working in the live site, especially SEO wise. On the right side toolbar over here, you have a few options. First is the author, so you can select the author. If you've already added the guest author as a user here, you can change it here. The permalink is just it will change after you publish it to the title. Right now it's just showing the post ID. Category. Now we have, I know it says add new category, but one of the things we've agreed on is just having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 primary categories that all of the posts on your website fit into as best as we can, and then we categorize them more deeply by using tags. And you can just tag whatever here. You can start tagging and maybe you already have something, or maybe you just create a new tag altogether, and you can create that tag just by typing it in, hitting enter. And then we had add a new scripture reference. Of course, you guys know that we created a taxonomy just for the scripture references, and you can type in and you can select 1 Timothy 2, or you can drill down further, of course, and 1 Timothy 2 with whatever verse you're exegeting in that passage or exegeting in that post. Last, we have the featured image. This is the image that shows in the grid, and it shows on the post itself. And we're going to go view this post. You see title. I'm using Kate's account. That's why she's the person. The featured image shows up right here. And now I'm on the Notorious Passages archive, and you can see that there's only one passage or one post that I've clicked the featured on, and of course it's the one we just made, and it shows up right here at the top. If you don't have any featured images or featured posts for an archive, this area will just be blank. But I imagine that as you guys get into this website, you'll be going through and selecting that checkbox for a number of different posts in every primary category that you guys have. That's how you work with adding posts to the Junia project website.